right, mate. So let's have a look here. Zcash for Litecoin. You're not sure what to do if moving it is the right decision. The fact, yeah, I think you're pretty right down here that you may be a bit late doing it. It's not last month even. You probably should have moved it. Yeah, well, I was going to say a couple of months ago. On this base. Of course, it was difficult to know, but it was a very nice base. 3 months ago or whatever it is, Zcash was up here at $54. So yeah, about 3 months ago was probably a good time to move it, and since then, Litecoin has gone up quite a lot. If you did move it back then, Litecoin's up 60%, and this is actually down. Whatever that's down, it's still down. Well, we'll say it's down 10% or whatever. But that's a possibly 70% difference to your portfolio if you had moved that a few months ago. So, it's already moved. Is it time to move it? Is it still a good time to move it? Well, the thing is now, this has just started to get some traction. Is it going to continue? That's the $1 million question. Litecoin does look like it's going to continue. It got a nice break up here, but it does look like it should go higher. It doesn't look topped out to me. As you can see, though, we are starting to come into this very, very, very important resistance point. Now, I could probably lower that a little bit. You can see right there. There's massive resistance just above here. Can Litecoin get through that? It's the neckline in here. It's resistance over here. It's very important being here. It's here. It's the breakdown point basically, and we're coming up onto the underside of that. So it's come into a critical level. It's tough to say if it's going to get through it or not. While in the meantime, Zcash does look like it's got higher. I mean, when you create a bullish engulfing candle like this, it does often signal that next month we could also get some sort of upside. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball, but that's kind of what it's implying. If this is going to move up to the yellow 9 EMA, it could be about a $60 target or so. I mean, that's a near-term target, of course, a $60 target on ZEC. So I wonder what percentage that is actually. Very roughly, another 20% higher. So I'm not sure where you've bought, but of course this is near-term targets, and you got to decide. Would you be happy if that went up another 20%? Is that enough for you to go up? How much is Litecoin going to go up here? There is massive resistance above, and then you could see some downside. So honestly, it's not an easy answer. It's not an easy question to answer for sure. Like there's a lot of parts to this, and like how much of a loss are you going to eat on it? Is it worth taking the loss? Would it be better to try and average down into ZEC and lower your average, and then try and get out at break even? There's obviously a lot of different ways to play it. Is it a large loss? Did you buy up here $300, for example? Or are you eating a big loss, or is it only a small loss? There's a lot of things that you really just need to consider, and I think only you can do that. When I look at this Litecoin chart, like overall it seems pretty bullish. I don't think that this is not the oldest Litecoin chart. I don't think, but there's some sort of pattern here that I'll just move this down to the lows. So you could probably move that there, and you can kind of just see there's definitely this sort of pattern, a longer term. I don't know what you want to call it, a falling wedge or whatever. I really do not know, or I don't really think that we are just going to work our way straight up into that and then come back down, or whatever. I don't think the market will have that strength at this point, especially not after the crash that we've just had. I think this will be a more subdued, and we'll probably start chopping about again for a number of months. Like when Barry Silbert was shilling ZEC, I really didn't know why he was shilling it. He was buying it and whatever his company's called, it's gone out of my head now, but they were buying DCG or whatever, and it was up here, and I was never sure to take him serious or not, because we had this huge neckline, and to me, when you had necklines like this, it was always very risky and dangerous, and I think it had already pumped, and we were kind of in here, and he was shilling it, and did he just make a big mistake? And obviously they're going bankrupt now, so he must have made a big mistake, but I just never understood why he was shilling this and why he liked obviously the privacy tokens, but I think he let his emotions get ahead and think, oh yeah, it's privacy, of course it's got a great future, blah blah blah. But he never read the chart properly, and I think that was his downfall. He was emotionally invested in it rather than thinking with his head and thinking with the chart. If you look at the yearly here on ZEC, it should have more upside. I mean, it's a very small candle here at this point. In theory, it should have more upside. Only you can make the answer, make the decision to move in this. I'm not sure Litecoin is the best coin to do that to. Yes, it has momentum. It does look like it's got more upside. I do think that many altcoins will see new lows again. I do not think the ultimate low is in. Like, if you look at 2008, there was bounces of 200 to 300%. Then we rolled over again, down to new lows before bottoming out, and then the real bull market, right? So I still think that that's a real possibility again. Oh, didn't mean to move that. So I think something like that's possible again. Do you want to hold on to it and re-add and buy more down here, for example, if that happens, and then you'll get a really low average possibly on ZEC, or do you just want to try and get out now and ride this higher? I mean, for me personally, I don't like taking losses. I rather try and dig my way out of those losses. But sometimes you do have to take losses, of course. But I usually do my best to try and not take a loss. If I can average down at the correct time to get myself out, that's the way I like to do it. But each to their own.